So myself and colleagues Baravi Shankar and Jaja Zhang led this multi-center study, which was aimed at looking at patients with lung cancer treated with immunotherapy and the spectrum of immune-related side effects or immune-related adverse events that they developed. And what we had anecdotally observed is that in a lot of clinical trials, the immune-related adverse events that are reported as singular events. And, you know, the patterns of these are fairly well understood. But we appreciate in clinical practice that a portion of patients will develop multisystem immune-related adverse events, meaning immune-related toxicities that affect multiple different organ systems in the body. So we had two main goals from the study. The first was to discover the proportion of patients who developed multisystem immune-related adverse events. And the second was to understand whether those patients had any particular unique features or whether this implied anything in terms of their outcome from immunotherapy. And the reason for us thinking this was that there has been a number of publications showing that if patients develop one immune-related adverse event, this is associated with a benefit in survival outcomes. Basically, that patients who develop an immune-related toxicity are more likely to actually benefit from immunotherapy. So in this study, we undertook a collaborative study across our institution, Johns Hopkins, and a number of institutions across the US and even Asia. We pooled the data, and in over 400 patients, we identified that about 10% of patients developed these multi-system immune-related adverse events. So more than one organ system involved with an immune toxicity. And interestingly, what we showed is that those patients who developed multi-system immune-related adverse events appeared to be associated with a benefit in the two survival outcomes that we look at classically in oncology trials: the progression-free survival, which is the time it takes until the cancer were to come back, and overall survival, which is obviously the length of life of the patient. And in this analysis, we actually controlled for duration of therapy. So regardless of how long a patient was receiving treatment for, this association was still held. So really this says that if a patient develops a single immune-related toxicity, they are more likely to benefit from immunotherapy. And there is an incremental gain in the likelihood of benefit with the more toxicities a patient actually experiences. So this is interesting, and I think mechanistically makes a lot of sense that we are seeing some off-target effects from the immunotherapy, but also I think reassuring to patients in the sense that if they do develop these toxicities, yes, it is a challenge, but actually this might tell us that they are more likely to do better overall. So I think overall a heartening story in relation to immunotherapy for lung cancer.